Hi everyone, welcome to Woman Who Code podcast. My name is Zamzam, and I'm here to talk to you about a journey that I had from being an individual contributor, from being a coder to a leader. Just to give you a little bit background about myself, I've started doing like I studied hardware engineering for my bachelor's degree, but I did not really like hardware. It just never clicked, but I really enjoyed software. I actually always wanted to switch to software engineering, but it was kind of hard at that point in the university that I was studying. So I ended up graduating, but then right after that, I started working as an iOS engineer as an intern. So I didn't know iOS initially, but I started doing it in a company as an intern, and then I really liked it. So I did have some experience in web engineering, but I have never done mobile. And then when I did that, started doing iOS, I really liked it. So I ended up continuing the work in iOS, and then I went to study my master's degree. So I studied artificial intelligence for my master's while working full time, which was not easy, but I managed to do it. And then so I'm originally from Iran, but I really wanted to try out and work in a different country. So at that point, I was looking for positions in Europe, mostly Nordics and Germany. And then I eventually landed a position in Copenhagen, which is where I am currently. I've been here, I've been living here for the past 5 years. I've worked at 2 different companies here. Now I'm working as a tech lead for a company called VO Technologies. And I got hired as a senior iOS engineer, but after a year after a year that I worked there, I got the promotion to become a tech lead. So the team that I'm the tech lead for is a mix of different profiles. So we have mobile engineers, iOS and Android. We have backend engineers, full stack engineers, front end engineers, DevOps engineers. So it's a kind of a mixed team. And we have a designer and also a PM, a project manager. And for me, I had this, the whole thing the whole leadership kind of started for me maybe very, very soon in my career. The thing is that I never, for me, I know that a lot of engineers really care about the code, and the product side of things doesn't really matter for them. And that's fine. No one says that it should matter, but for me, it was always about the product, and also why are we doing certain things, and who are we building this for? What is it that we're trying to solve? So when I first joined my current company, it was like a brand new team and a brand new project. And then there was a position for a tech lead, but it was open for a while, but no one, so we couldn't find the right candidate for the position. And then I ended up doing a lot of other stuff than just doing the iOS app, because I felt, okay, these kind of tasks needs to be taken care of. We have, someone needs to plan this, someone needs to figure out the scope, someone needs to talk to the other teams, the dependencies that we have cross teams, and also how do we, what are the milestones that we have in order to release this project in time. So a lot of other things that I was doing while doing the iOS. And the main reason that I did it was because I felt, okay, there is a need for it, and someone has to do these things. And okay, we don't have a tech lead for now, so I'm taking them. And sometimes I ask other people, oh, maybe you can do this, or maybe you can do this. But most of taking being the captain of kind of directing what do we do and what should we do. And of course, the PM of our team really helped in that regards. But it was also a lot of technical decision on architecture and different decisions that we had to make. So what after a while, I started having the conversation with my manager, and I realized, okay, a lot of things that I'm doing are for a tech lead position, but I'm already doing them, and I kind of thought I actually can do it better. So if I have the position, because there's a limit until when you don't have, at least in some companies, when you don't have the position, there is up to a limit that you can have an impact on what's going on. So for me, it was about okay, up to now I'm at the point that I need to have the position because I want to be able to do these things better and also have the time to do it. And because otherwise it would like, okay, why aren't you doing the iOS work whereas you're supposed to do that and you're doing other stuff? If I have the position, then that would not become a thing anymore because this is part of my job. So it was not an easy thing. So in general, it was not so easy to kind of become the tech lead, because also like the company that I work for is not mobile. It's not mobile focused, even though we have mobile applications, but like the web app, and we also have a camera. So like there's a camera division. So those are the part of like the main parts of the company. So most of the tech leads are from, actually all of the tech leads are from a web background. So it was kind of hard for me coming from a mobile background and saying, okay, I think I'm good at this and I can do this. So yeah, so that was a whole story of how I ended up getting the position. So I like there was a I started talking to my manager, making a plan, and like managing also like, okay, what is it that I need to do to prove that I am actually able to do this. So there was like certain things, and it was really good that I got the support in my company to actually finally be able to get the position, and they trusted me. Even though I haven't had this role before in my previous jobs. So when I ended up being in the leadership position, then there were some things that I actually didn't see coming. So one of them was time management. So I ended up having problems with time management, and the reason for that was suddenly I ended up being in a lot of meetings, talking to a lot of people, and they were necessary, but it ended up me being into meetings here and there. So then it resulted me not having a lot of focus time. So like the time management became very critical because I had tasks, so I still had to do coding. I had also like helping with the projects and like taking some of the features, but then it was kind of difficult because I couldn't find a focus time during my days because my time was very fragmented, and that was something I didn't actually I didn't expect to happen. The other thing was hiring. So for my team, when I got the position, there were three open positions. So I ended up taking the hiring manager role for those positions. And that was, I mean, I was part of hiring before, but I was never a hiring manager. So it was a complete change because I ended up doing a lot of interviews and putting the time and figuring out how we should do interviews that would work for my team, and like who should I involve, and for each interview who should take the role, and what questions do we ask, who asks the questions, how do we get feedback, who do I involve. So there's a lot of things around hiring that I didn't anticipate it originally, but it was like something that I had to do, and it was necessary for the team. Another thing was people management. So I knew I was going to do that, but obviously I didn't have any hands-on experience on it. So it was very challenging in a sense that like figuring out how to make a connection or like build a relationship with my team, and also how do I make sure that this is like a safest space for them and they can trust me, and also like I can trust them, and like we can have like open conversation, we can give feedback and get feedback. So that was like also like a lot of effort I had to put in, and a lot of knowledge I had to get from any resource I could find, books, talking to people, talking to my manager, talking to people with experience. So like it was a lot of a lot of learning that I had to do in that regards. And something I think I kind of knew, but I never really thought about it deeply, was how much I spend, how much time I get to actually do coding. And that was not easy. And it is still not easy, I must add. So it's always like a battle for me, because I really enjoy coding. But I know sometimes I'm not the most effective when I'm coding, in the sense that my team needs me to do other stuff, and me coding a certain thing doesn't necessarily help them. So I have to kind of prioritize what part of my time do I spend coding, and what part of my time do I spend in other topics. So yeah, that was some of the stuff that I didn't actually anticipate it. And some of the like throughout my journey, I did have a lot of struggles, and like one of them was, and I also grow. I feel like I grow a lot since I stepped into position, and that's really, that is very exciting for me, because I still feel like I'm at the beginning of this journey. So it's not long that I've been doing leadership, but so far it has been very insightful, and I gained a lot of new knowledge. But part of my struggles were I was struggling, so I was struggling with imposter syndrome, meaning that I kind of felt like maybe I don't deserve this, maybe I'm not good at it, maybe someone else can do this better, maybe I'm not helping the team in the best way possible. So there was like a lot of those things, like those thoughts that I had, and also coming from a mobile background didn't really help, because I'm really good at mobile technology, but I wasn't like as good when it came to web technology. And since, as I said, most of my colleagues like in the tech engineering group are coming from a background of web, then it was kind of difficult to kind of feel that, okay, I belong here. So that was part of the struggles. And the other thing is I did have to learn quite a lot learn quite a lot about the leadership skills. I did end up spending a lot of my time looking into those topics, and like, as I said, reading books and talking to people, and everywhere I could get some information. So that was also challenging, but in a good way, in a sense that I got to learn a lot of new stuff. And another thing was just being able to help my team. So the at first, when I got the position, I kind of had this, maybe I need to know everything, maybe I need to be very good at everything, but that's not the case, because there is a limit on to how many things a person can be really good at, and you have a team to support you, because you have people who are specialists in certain topics, and you have to trust them. And what I understood from my time is that you need to be able to trust your team to give you good options. You're there to guide them, to help them solve the problems, but it's not up to you to solve everything, or like have a best solution for everything. So you just have to like make a plan, and like help your team to get to the right solution. And on another note, I started to do public speaking in the previous year, and this had to do some part of it with me becoming tech lead, and wanting to share my knowledge in a sense. I did talks on multiple topics of those, like not about. Actually, I haven't talked about this topic. This is the first time I'm talking about it, but I talked about like Swift UI, which is like a topic in iOS, and like different things. And that helped me a lot in a sense that I got to spend some of my off work time on learning technical stuff, which was really really good for me, because I kind of somehow I lost the touch of, okay, I want to still be very good in technical, so I didn't want to lose touch, and that helped. And another way that it helped me was that I ended up building a lot of good connections, and being more confident when I'm out there and I'm giving a talk. It helped me to have this confidence, and that was really really helpful for me. And the other thing that happened is, for me, there was like a mental shift from deep coding to broader vision. As I said, when at first when I had the position, and I sometimes got the feeling of, okay, I didn't code, so it didn't work. But then later on, I realized, yes, okay, today I didn't code, but I did all of these other things that will help my team a lot more than me spending time coding. And there are days that I like try to just dedicate to coding. So I try to like book it completely, so that I don't end up being in meetings or going to I don't have to go and talk to other people, or kind of like also ask my team to respect that time. Of course, there are exceptions and things happen, but it has really helped me in a sense to say, okay, I have other responsibilities which are really important, and I also want to code, and that's also part of my role. So like, how do I balance that I don't miss out on one? In general, I think there were some moments that there are some moments that I cherish throughout this journey. So one of the biggest one, I would say, is the impact that I see I could have on my team. I know that there are a lot of parts that I can improve, that I can become better, but I feel like when I hear positive feedback from my team, that really like kind of warms my heart, in a sense that I feel like, okay, all this hard work, all of this effort is paying off. And of course, there are some days that I feel like, oh, maybe I should have done that the other way. Maybe I should have taken this into account and that into account. But in general, I think it has really helped me to when I see the feedback that I get from my team, that has really as I said, it has really warmed my heart. And the new perspective that I got from working as a lead and not a coder. So the more so like a lot of things that before I was like, oh, but why do we have, as a coder when I was working, oh, why do we have to do this, and why isn't it like that, and why is it? So now I got a lot of more a lot of things got more clear, and I have like a better overview of why things are the way they are and why do we make decisions. And I always welcome my team to challenge and to ask questions, and to also, because there are some times that maybe they could have done it differently, and I'm really actually hoping that people would bring it up, because then that will help us in the long run. And I got to develop a lot of new skills, mostly soft skills. So of course I did gain a lot of technical knowledge along the way, but a lot of soft skills, as I said. So I like just being able to like making making connections and just have that kind of making connection between the team and also across teams. So knowing people in different departments that I wouldn't normally knew, I wouldn't normally knew if I wasn't I didn't take this role. But now, because I ended up talking to a lot of different departments, then I had to make a lot of new skills and like be able to communicate, and that was a very challenging but rewarding experience throughout the time, throughout this journey. And one more thing would be that just boosting my team to grow, help them in any way I can. And also if it's professionally, try to figure out what they want and what they want to get to. Is there anything that I can do to help that, to facilitate that? Also, like, just to understand what they enjoy, what don't they enjoy. So if we have the possibility to align the task in a way that they would spend, I don't think most like that, the ideal word would be that you would spend most of your time doing what you like, but that usually is not the case. But just try to have that balance of figuring out what each person likes, and try to, when distributing the task, try to have that in mind. And also, like, if there is a course they want to get, if there is a conference they want to attend, so all of it, just facilitate and help them to provide these things for them. And also personally, so if someone just is going through a rough patch, then be able to talk to me, and then I can do whatever we can, like whatever there is to be able to, whatever the company is able to do to basically help them to get through that time. And what I would tell my younger version, or anyone who's out there who's kind of thinking that, okay, maybe they're thinking about taking this path and having this position, I would say, first of all, be careful what you wish for, and that I don't mean it in a bad way, but just think about it and really understand what you want to get out of it. And maybe some people are happier being a senior engineer and being a principal engineer, and that's totally fine. There is nothing wrong with that. And if you are interested in becoming a team lead and choosing this path, also really think about it, like long term. Is this what you want? Is this what you're hoping to be doing in the next I don't know, like 10 years of your career, more than that? Another thing is, I would definitely say myself to be ready to do less coding and more leading. I think that's a very, very important thing. And I don't regret what I did, but I think if I knew this before, I wouldn't be so shocked when it happened. It would be like, okay, I know, I expected this to happen. Also, I feel as a individual contributor, as a coder, most of the time you get things very defined, especially for us engineers. It's just like, okay, this is your task, and then you have the freedom of, okay, how do you want to build it? You get to choose the architecture up to a limit. You get to do a lot of these things, but the whole thing is kind of defined for you. Whereas moving to this role, a lot of things are undefined, and your responsibility is actually to define them. So if you are used to having things defined, clear roles and clear responsibilities, this is it. Of course, it depends from company to company and position to position, but from my experience, and also like knowing people in the tech world, in a lot of cases that is not the case. So you should be the one defining them. And be ready to learn a new set of skills which are not technical. Of course, you also have you learn a lot of technical stuff, but you will also have to learn a lot of other skills, and a lot of them might not be technical. So just be ready for that. Thank you for listening and tuning into this podcast. You can follow me in Twitter with Zamzam Farzamipooya, and I would be happy to if you have any question, I would be happy to answer you, and just reach out if you have anything in mind.